Welcome into the UDDA Winner podcast on this Wednesday night of Masters Week. Dan Black with you. Joining me as always is SportyJordy, and back joining us again for the second time. He was here for Super Bowl week a couple months ago. Now for the Masters, Cam Rogers of the Believe Podcast Networks. Cam, busy day, but glad you can cap it off with us here tonight.
What's going on, guys? Great to be with you as always. Yeah, a bit of a media tour here today. I got to the point where I wasn't sure which talking points I said on which show, but you know what? I just took a shower. I feel refreshed now. I'm ready to rock.
Yeah, it's okay if you have to repeat yourself a couple times. I expect that. How many shows did you go on today?
Blah, 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 blah. Let's take a look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 shows today. So jeez, I bet the world is sick of me. The world is sick of Cam Rogers at this point.
That's not possible.
That's actually insanity.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It kind of was.
Yeah, that's what time did you start? What was like your first?
I had a 7:40 on camera today on Odyssey Sports. So that's
You're
a nice
gonna have like the best
call.
Night's sleep of your life tonight.
Yeah. Out like a rock after this, guaranteed.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Obviously, a huge plenty to talk about this week. We got an opening day tomorrow for baseball, so we can touch on that towards the end of the show. The obvious main thing that we want to talk about is the Masters. But before we get to that, I want to recap Monday's action in the National Championship with you. Just see how you did in terms of betting, what surprised you, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so, the Final Four wasn't all that profitable for yours truly, unfortunately. Funny story, guys. I was in Charleston last weekend, and when I go out to the bars, I, have a goal of promoting my show, and so I end up talking to random people, and so I'm dishing out my phone, like, hey, subscribe to this, blah, blah, blah. Usually there's a conversation first before I do that, but anyway, so I'm, telling these random guys that, yeah, I was on Duke -4, lock it in, and then I'm, looking across the way in the TVs, and obviously Duke is not winning -4. Yeah. But I was like, yeah, guys, subscribe anyway. It's good content. So, overall, it was really a fun March Madness. And as far as the championship game is concerned, I mean, guys, talk about ups and downs. I mean, I thought UNC was going to run away with this. And Bill Self, I think, is the master of halftime adjustments. And he proved that on Monday night. Truly a fantastic performance for Kansas in the second half. They're such an efficient shooting team. I thought that they were going to make this a game. I didn't think UNC necessarily was going to blow them out. I thought Kansas would have its fair share of runs in the second half. And so credit to UNC, though. I mean, a lot of people were picking them to not even make it to the second weekend in terms of March Madness. Yep. So for them to sort of make that run, I think is a testament to its coaching, a testament to the will of the team. And, they were a cohesive unit, really good shooting team overall. And, I was on Kansas -4, and of course I missed that. But either way, really a fantastic performance for the Jayhawks, and congrats to them.
Yeah, no, I mean, it felt like sort of the perfect game to cap off what was just a crazy historic tournament in total. I mean, you saw we had the big Richmond upset in the first round. We had obviously St. Peter's historic run as a 15 seed, and then to have, it would have been great, I think, for the tournament as a whole had UNC won, if that makes any sense, because of their own crazy run as an 8 seed. But for that game, it felt right that Kansas made more history on top of an already historic tournament, made more history by coming back from the biggest deficit in championship game history. So I just felt like it was the perfect topping to a great tournament cake.
I was really praying for overtime in that game, though. Cam, I also I had Kansas -4.5. So I was sitting there, and at the half, all my friends were texting me, and they were like, how are you doing? Just mental health check-in, because they all knew. And I was like, I'm not worried. I texted Dan. I threw money on Kansas when they were +330 or something ridiculous. I was like, here, I'm going to hedge myself. They're going to come back. Everything's going to be fine.
I told her not to.
What? Yeah, he told me not to. He was like, "Are you crazy?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then we're sitting there and there's 3 minutes left in this game. Kansas makes this crazy comeback, but then UNC is like still, but all their players are injured. Everyone's going down left and right. And I'm sitting there with like 3 minutes left in this game. And I was like, either one of these teams can run away with this. And it was just, a part of me wanted, even though I had money on Kansas all across the board, part of me wanted UNC, Dan, kind of like you were alluding to, wanted UNC to come back and just run away with it to kind of be the topper on this crazy year. But I did like that Kansas kind of also made history and made a run for it. But yeah, no, it was absolutely chaotic and I loved everything about it.
Do you guys know what the live money line was for Kansas at halftime?
I know I got it like 2 minutes before the half at plus 330, but I'm pretty sure I saw one of my friends that got it even better than, like, they were underdogs. No, it was, and the fact that they came and then they were up by like 8 at one point after being down 15 at the half. Like, it was just pure. I was like, my dad called me and was like, "This is the nuttiest game I've ever watched." And I was like, "This is pure."
He called you at 2 a.m. because the game was still going on. Right?
Yes. That was another moment I realized I was old. Because I was sitting there and I was like, this is way past my bedtime.
No more 9:30. No more 9:30 tips.
No.
So unnecessary.
I was trying to justify it, but I was like, neither of these teams are West Coast teams. I was like, this does not have to start at 9:30 on Monday night.
And by the way, is it usually not on CBS? I guess CBS has to cater to the network TV programming at night, right?
Yeah. That was my question. I always thought, because it's Jim Nantz that does it. And so that's why I was confused. So maybe because, I don't know if it's because CBS has their own like paid subscription thing that, for their own streaming, that to have more of an audience, they get away with that. I have no idea. But I also thought it was on CBS, but I'm glad it wasn't. Thank God.
Yeah.
But overall, a crazy game and crazy tournament. One of the greatest. It'll go down as one of the greatest. And, saw some great upsets, saw blue bloods in the Final Four, and it was wonderful. Speaking of Jim Nantz, let's talk about the Masters this upcoming week, as he will be down there, right? Does he still do the Masters?
Oh, he'll be there. It's Jim Nantz season for sure. Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't remember if for some reason I felt like I had seen Joe Buck do it before, and like I don't know why I had.
You're thinking the U.S. Open when Fox actually had the U.S. Open for a short spurt of time,
right? Yeah. That's what it was, and that's why I randomly thought about that. But Jim Nantz down in Augusta. Tiger's back.
Tiger's back. I mean, truly remarkable, guys. 14 months removed from nearly getting a leg amputated. And Superman shows up to Augusta National, walks the hallowed grounds, and gives us confirmation that he's going to compete in the first major championship of the year. I did not see this coming. I thought a realistic timeline was like the Open Championship in July, give him the spring to recover, St. Andrews, flat golf course, easy to walk. Nah, that's not Tiger style. If he feels like he can go ahead and play this tournament and win, he's going to play in it. And so, I don't think we'll know for sure until he actually tees off tomorrow. He did leave a little bit of doubt about maybe not playing, but he's going to play, in my opinion. So pretty amazing stuff. I mean, he is the master, in my opinion, of battling back from adversity.
No,
right? We talk about, exactly. Multiple back surgeries, right? PR nightmares, a DUI. He's been through it all. And for him to get back here is pretty amazing. And he stole all the headlines this week. And it makes for a really exciting Masters.
Yeah. So from a betting perspective, I think he's at plus 3,500. I could be wrong on that right now to win the Masters. He's not even expected to make the cut. So what are your expectations for him?
35-1. Guys, I can't go there. I just can't. That number's way too short. I mean, all the public money is coming in on Tiger now. I think for the most part, it's people A, giving a ceremonial bet, or B, they have money to light on fire. So why not? People in Beverly Hills betting on Tiger Woods, fine, whatever. But I won't do that. I don't have the money to do that. And so, as far as realistic expectations are concerned, I think he's going to make the cut. This is a fairly easy tournament to make the cut in. Only 91 players. It's a smaller field, and you have a lot of amateurs, and you have a lot of senior players who always miss the cut. So I think Tiger making the cut is a fairly safe bet. As far as upside, maybe a top 15, top 20 wouldn't talk you out of, maybe a sprinkle there. But other than that, guys, I just can't see him being in contention on Sunday evening. So I know yesterday Tiger said, yes, I'm playing to win, and I think I can win. And here's the pundit throwing cold water on all of that. But he has surprised us before, so who knows?
Yeah, I fall into the category of people that was just excited to have him back. I threw like $15 on him. I think I got him at like plus 5,000 odds. So I think it's like 15 to win 815. And I was like, you know what? In my opinion, this is worth it. Like I could take a $15 hit if this doesn't work out, but $800 would be nice if he pulls this miracle. And kind of like you were hinting at earlier, just the fact that one, I don't think he would play if he wasn't confident that he actually stood a chance. So not saying that it's realistic, but I just think him coming back, and I don't know, it's just like special. And I was excited for him because, I mean, like you said, he almost got his leg amputated. Like this wasn't just some like subtle injury. Like this was a very big deal. So mainly just for like the sake of Tiger, I was like, I'll throw $15 on you.
Yeah, we're not talking about a paper cut here. I mean, he went through some serious stuff a year ago, and for him to come back and try to navigate this golf course is pretty remarkable. I will note, though, that the challenge for him this week, guys, is actually physically walking Augusta National. By all accounts, his swing looks great. The ball striking is there. Chipping is fantastic. I know Justin Thomas and Fred Couples say he can contend. What else are they going to say, by the way? They're his friends. Like, this is coach speak, obviously. But, I mean, there might be some truth to that. It just comes down to whether that ankle can hold up in terms of soreness and can it recover every single night throughout this week. Those are the variables we don't really know much about, and I don't think he really knows. Yes, he's walked the golf course, but more in a practice capacity, not in a competitive capacity. So that's the thing to watch for me. Can that ankle, that leg hold up for 4 days in the heat of competition, going up against the likes of McIlroy and Rahm and perhaps Bryson, who knows? You know, a lot of elite players are in the field this week. So again, in my opinion, Tiger Woods ceremonially already won the green jacket. He's here, he's playing, he already won. Like everything else is gravy, in my opinion.
That's very fair. Yeah, and I don't believe the weather is supposed to cooperate a ton either.
No.
So that should be a whole other factor. And speaking of that, you know, the effects of certain outliers. You mentioned it, and it was something I wanted to ask you about. A lot of amateurs in this field. How will that have an effect, sort of, on the way people may bet this, may bet the field, may bet who makes the cut, and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, the numbers are shorter than you typically see in like a regular sized PGA Tour event because of the smaller field and a lot of guys who really shouldn't be in a major championship. Like you have past champions who are like 65 are going to shoot like plus 18 and miss the cut. It's like one of those deals. So yeah, I mean, you certainly have to probably put in a little bit more bankroll this week if you want to make a nice fat profit, which is fine. I mean, the Masters is typically a chalky event. You don't really get somebody out of nowhere winning this thing. In fact, if you want to go to the official world golf rankings in terms of the winners these last few years, I mean, you have the likes of Hideki Matsuyama, who was highly ranked. I'm looking for my list right now. Everybody on this list. Here we go. Hideki was 25. DJ was 1. Tiger was 12. Reed was 24. Sergio 11. Danny Willett, who many thought was a surprise winner, was actually 12th in the world. So 30 and in terms of the official world golf rankings is your safe bet in the outright market. And because of those amateurs, Dan, because of those past champions, you can really whittle down your player pool this week. And I have done that. And I love betting the Masters because of that stuff.
Right. And you mentioned Hideki Matsuyama. Over the last few years, we've seen a lot of long shots win this tournament, win the Masters. We saw Matsuyama, I think, was at, I had to look it up for a second. He was plus 4,600. Tiger even was plus 1,400 a couple of years ago. Patrick Reed plus 5,000. Sergio Garcia in 2017 plus 3,000. So who are some of the maybe somewhat notable names, but certainly long shots in terms of a betting standard that you're looking at to sprinkle some money on?
Yeah, the mid-range is really what I'm looking at in terms of value this week, guys. And Shane Lowry sticks out to me at 45-1. The Englishman Matthew Fitzpatrick at 45-1. My predicted winner, Daniel Berger, is a fat 50-1. If you want to make some money on him here this week, I mean, that's the range I'm really looking at, where these guys are sort of flying under the radar, but the data supports the logic behind betting them. They're coming in with really good ball striking form, good major championship form, especially Daniel Berger, a couple of top 10s in the majors last year. So, that's a range that I certainly like to play around with in terms of the outright market. Will not go any longer than that. The 60s, 70s, 80s, I won't go there. The Masters, the cream usually rises to the top here.
You're not going to go with Bubba at plus 8,500?
Oh, God. I don't even like Bubba. He's such a whiner. He's such a whiner. He complains to his caddy, and he buttons up his shirt all the way, all three buttons. It's like, what are you doing?
He's not a relaxed guy. They should really encourage more drinking during the tournament on the course, I think.
Yeah, loosen up the personalities a little bit. Yeah.
Fun
fact, I don't drink when I golf. I can't do it.
Really? You're the only person. You're the only
I know.
I was going to say, it's totally known. It's the best drinking sport.
It really is, but I suck already sober. I would suck even more, buzzed,
Fair.
Or maybe it could be like me with bowling. I suck when I'm sober, but then I get a couple beers in me. I loosen up a little bit. I let the ball fly, and then a couple strikes here and there. Who knows?
All right. Guess I'm shotgunning a White Claw on the first tee.
Yes.
Not
We're the worst influences.
Not a White Claw.
Never the White Claw. Too carbonated.
It's true.
What about Scotty Scheffler? He's been on a tear in 2022. What are your thoughts on him this weekend?
Yeah, so let me just say, from a macro perspective, when you're handicapping a major championship, you have the elite of the elite playing in that particular tournament. So you have to take a stand on these guys, whether it's good or bad. You can't bet on everybody, and not everybody can finish inside the top 10. So I'm taking a stand on Scotty Scheffler. I don't think he plays well this week. At least, he's not getting any money from me in terms of a top 10 or an outright bet. Listen, he's been great. 3 wins so far this PGA Tour season. Credit to him. But golf is volatile. It's random. It's a major championship. There are so many good guys coming in right now with momentum. It would be totally understandable if Scotty Scheffler were to finish T17. And when he does that at his number, there's no value. So it's I'm off him. I think he'll be fine. But yeah, he's not a guy that I think will be in contention per se on Sunday, which is contrary to what he's been doing. But sometimes that's golf.
What do you think of Brooks Koepka this weekend, especially considering rival, what's his name? Dustin Johnson. This is all my golf research. Coming together. He has a green jacket. Brooks doesn't, but he's been competing very well. Do you think this could motivate him? He also has a history of playing in some not great weather. So with everything, I mean, he's the last odds I saw him sitting at were plus 2,000. So he's right in that, I would say, a little bit above mid-range. So do you think this could be his year to get a green jacket?
Yeah, I think so, guys. I have a bet on him at a top 10 finish here this week. I think the game is finally starting to come back for him. Last year he played in the Masters and missed the cut. I think he probably should not have played. He could barely bend over. He was so hurt. So, I mean, listen, how about these ranks in terms of major championships since 2016 on the PGA Tour? Scored a par first. Birdies are better first. Rounds led or co-led first. Wins number 1. Trending nicely as well. 3rd in Phoenix, 16th at the Honda Classic, 12th at the Valspar Championship. Consistently good with the driver. I think there's value there, honestly, at 18-1, 20-1 for Brooks Koepka to go ahead and win this week. Better than, say, a Scotty Scheffler or a Cam Smith or a Colin Morikawa. So Koepka is inside my top 10 in terms of the power rankings this week. Yeah.
Cool.
I like, I think that's worth a little sprinkle. I'm upset by the Scheffler idea. I've been big on Scotty Scheffler ever since you came on 2 months ago, before I ever knew who he was. I think that was his first I think that was his first win of the year.
And I think I got that outright right. Yeah, like my first time ever.
Yeah, no, I think you had him. I believe you had him finishing top 10. I don't remember if you called him winning, but I believe I know for a fact you said he was going to finish top 10 in that, and it feels like almost every single week he's winning, but obviously he's not. But he's just like he's just been so hot. I just can't imagine him pulling back that much. But I've been wrong before in betting. Happens.
Really?
We'll talk on Monday.
Yeah,
see what happens.
True. That's true. All right, so to sort of round things out, we talked about a number of guys, but who are you going into tomorrow? What are like your lock in? No doubt, obviously everything can have a doubt. But what are your like best bets for the Masters?
No doubts with me, Dan. Never. All right. So, I mean, I'm picking Daniel Berger to get it done here this week, guys. He is my outright selection. And then I have a slew of top 10s that are pretty chalky, but I'm willing to eat this chalk. John Rahm, Justin Thomas, Rory McIlroy, Brooks Koepka, all pretty safe bets, in my opinion, for a top 10 this week. You're not going to get a lot of plus money out of these guys, but that's how it goes at the Masters. But they're all playing really, really well. As far as value down the board, maybe for a top 20, take a look at this guy, Stuart Sink, plus 600. I've been texting back and forth with his swing coach, tight with him, inside sources. He's looking pretty good. T7 at the Valspar. Yeah, T7 at the Valspar a few weeks ago. T12 at the Masters last year. So you know how Augusta National can kind of cater to the older guard of the PGA Tour. We've seen Freddie Couples flash success here. Bernhard Langer has flashed success here. So that's a pretty good bet, in my opinion. My best bet, though, out of all of these things, Matt Fitzpatrick, plus 145 for a top 20. Improved iron game is the story for Matt this year. 19th on the PGA Tour. Number 1 in strokes gained total this season on the PGA Tour. Masters record is pretty decent as well. So Matt Fitzpatrick for a top 20 is the stone cold lock.
We love it.
Enough. We love it. We're here for it. Jordy, you going to put that one down?
Absolutely.
Put $15 down.
Yes, I'll just put $15 bets all weekend.
I'm here for it.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Well, it should be a great tournament. I'm excited. It's one of the few times I watch golf for an entire weekend. Is the Masters, and
this is the first time that I actually have more of an understanding going into a big golf event. So I'm excited. I'm going to start practicing my betting. I was talking with my friends who cover golf for a couple websites, and they were giving me tips on who to parlay for top 10, top 20. So this is me breaking into the golf world, and I'm very excited about it.
I love to hear it.
Thank you.
Welcome to the team.
Thank you. Now I just have to get out on a course in a couple weeks when it starts to warm up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
For me
Where are you guys at, by the way? Are you in Green Bay, Jordy?
No. That's just, I love Aaron Rodgers. We're both, I'm in South Jersey, Dan's in Pennsylvania. So we're both Philly people.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I want Tiger to make the cut solely so I can relive the 2019 Masters because that was so electric. And I just want that feeling again.
Well, really, to get 4 rounds of Tiger Woods too, you know what I mean? Every time he tees it up, right, it's a treat. And so, I'll say this to your listeners as well. Drink it in every time Tiger Woods tees it up this year, because it won't be a lot. It'll probably be 5 times max, so the 4 majors and maybe Jack's tournament, the Memorial Tournament. So that's really going to be it for him this year. So I'm really excited to see what he does this week. Again, I think he makes the cut. We'll see him on the weekend, and then who knows from there.
All right, well, we shall see. Before we wrap things up, opening day tomorrow, who do you like in terms of betting the games tomorrow? Some good bets for tomorrow. And then overall, who do you got winning the World Series, winning all the different awards and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. Really excited for opening day. It's funny. I'm like, wait a minute. Does opening day typically happen during Masters week? Oh, wait, that's right. Because of the lockout. So really, this has been a special week. Yeah, in the sporting world. Listen, in terms of a couple futures, I think the Chicago White Sox could do some damage this year, guys. I know they didn't re-sign Rendon. That's okay. I think they have a pretty strong bullpen. And when I see that, I zone in on bullpens, and it's a little bizarre for me, but I think when you have that sort of asset, you can make a strong run in the postseason. I know starting pitching is king in my opinion as well, but still, when you have that bullpen there, I like the White Sox to make a run at things. And, you know, I'm going to be chalky here on the NL side. I think this team can certainly win the pennant. The Los Angeles Dodgers. I think they can make a serious charge. Yeah, shocker, exactly. I'm eating the chalk here tonight, guys, honestly. But elite offense, pretty solid pitching as well. I'm not too scared about anybody in their respective division. We'll see about the Padres, but I really do like the Dodgers here to go ahead and win the NL. So it could be White Sox Dodgers in the World Series. Games tomorrow. Give me some games here. I haven't even looked at the schedule. I'll be honest with you guys.
I have to, let me see. The Guardians make their debut tomorrow. The Cleveland Guardians for the first time. What do you think? Do you like the name?
I think it's better than Commanders, honestly. Is that weird? Fair. I mean, I was okay with the Washington football team, you know, like
it's fair.
Yeah. Guardians is fine. Yeah.
That's fair. So tomorrow we have Cubs, although that may have been postponed. We got Nationals, Mets. We got Royals, Guardians, Cardinals, Pirates, Braves, Reds, Angels, Astros, and D-backs and the Padres. So
I'm a big fan.
Reinvented Mets tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the D-backs this year. I think they could be an interesting team to watch, and maybe it starts tomorrow, right, guys? So I would lay some cash on them, run line maybe, and see what goes from there. You know, MLB handicapping is pretty difficult, not going to lie. It's one of the more volatile sports out there. And so, you know, I would probably, if I'm giving advice, and this is unsolicited advice to your listeners, but maybe kind of ease into the MLB betting game this year just because of the lockout and the variables at play. Who's really the most prepared to go ahead and be successful in this early going of the season? But, you know, I will ride the D-backs tomorrow on the run line. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm already prepared to lose a lot of money this weekend because baseball betting is the toughest for me. Like I already know, like football, basketball, hockey, these are things I know I'm consistently solid in. Baseball, I know I'm like below average at best. And then kind of like you were hinting at, it's the lockout. There's a lot of changes. So it's going to be a weird opening weekend. However, I'm coming in hot this weekend anyway. I'm taking the Astros money line plus 110 against the Angels. I think the only reason they're favored is because Angels are home. So I'm coming in. I think Astros pitching.
Shohei.
Yeah. Whatever. So that's my hot MLB opening weekend bet for tomorrow.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I've already told Jordy, I think, about my theory that I'm doing this season, but I'm betting every Phillies over every game this season just to see.
Hey, if it looks anything like today in spring training.
Exactly. They can't pitch and they can't field and they can hit the ball a lot, given the offseason moves. I don't know if it'll work. I did the calculations last season. The over hit 48% of the time, so that's like not making me too positive on this bet, but we'll see.
They are a dark horse out there for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't made the playoffs in a decade.
Yeah. That's not good. That's
like 10 years, right?
And I know, like today, I'm sitting there and I'm watching them. It's spring training. I can't get ahead of myself, but I'm sitting there and I'm watching home run after home run, and I'm like, oh my god, we're winning the World Series, and everyone was like, calm down. Like, don't get too excited.
Bryce Harper ate spring training home runs.
No, oh my god, I love him so much.
Crushing the ball. Who do you think is going to win MVP? Do you think Ohtani do you think Ohtani could do the double of MVP Cy Young?
Can I say he can and root for him at the same time? Like, I really think that would be an amazing story. And what is the value on that? What's the number on him right now? Do you know?
To win MVP and Cy Young, or to win, one of the other?
Just let's go with one of them. Let's go with MVP.
I think the MVP was he had much better odds. 1 second, I have it on my phone. Okay. He is at plus 350 to win the MVP.
A lot of options out there in terms of MVPs, but I mean, I would probably bet on him. I mean, he's an immense talent. He's the starting pitcher, for crying out loud, in opening day. Like, I think you could go for it. Why not?
I might do it. Might do a little parlay of MVP, or if they give that option, might do it. Might have to.
I mean, it's never happened before, right?
No, because no one usually hits. No one usually can do both. So like,
yeah, I wasn't sure if like there was some random guy in like 1919 who did it or something.
Okay, yeah, but like, was Cy Young even alive then?
No, that's a good point. I'll see myself out.
I don't think they actually. I think he was playing at that time, but he wasn't. I don't think they named the award.
The Cy Young.
Yeah.
Right, he wasn't the Cy Young then. But we shall see. I'm excited for that tomorrow. Masters start. We got UFC this weekend. A huge weekend to lose
There's
money
so
on
much
betting.
going on. Exactly.
Just throw money at things this weekend.
Sprinkle everywhere.
Everywhere.
And we have plenty of great contests on our UDDA app. So if you haven't already, download the UDDA app and join all those and follow us on all of our social medias at UDDA_winner. Cam, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck on your bets this weekend. Enjoy the Masters. Enjoy opening day. We'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate you guys. Always fun joining the show.
Have a good one.
Make sure you get some sleep tonight.
Yeah,
after your 15 shows today.
I got to make dinner first. I haven't even made dinner.
Oh my God.
I'm a mess, guys. I'm a mess.
We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Take care.